Hold up, basketball fans. Did the Indiana Fever just drop a bombshell that's about to flip the WNBA upside down? A leaked graphic of their 2025 starting lineup has the internet in a frenzy, and trust me, this isn't just a roster tweak, it's a championship blueprint. We're talking Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Dana Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Aaliyah Boston forming a super team that's got the league shaking. But the real shock? Sophie Cunningham's reaction to her new bench role might just be the secret sauce that takes this squad to the promised land. Buckle up because we're diving deep into this powerhouse lineup, their lethal bench, and why every other team in the WNBA should be losing sleep. Let's get into it. All right, let's set the stage. The Indiana Fever, a team that's been building something special, just leaked what could be their starting five for the 2025 season. This isn't your average lineup. It's a juggernaut. Caitlin Clark at point guard, Kelsey Mitchell at shooting guard, Dana Bonner at small forward, Natasha Howard at power forward, and Aaliyah Boston at center. That's 2 Rookie of the Year winners, 3 max contract players, and a collective scoring output that topped 80 points per game last season. This is the kind of lineup that makes coaches rewrite their game plans and fans start dreaming of banners. But before we break down the starters, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Sophie Cunningham, a fan favorite and a certified sharpshooter, is reportedly coming off the bench. And her response? Pure class, pure fire, and maybe the key to unlocking this team's championship chemistry. Let's start with the headliner, Caitlin Clark. If you don't know her name by now, you're living under a rock. This rookie phenom took the WNBA by storm last year, redefining what a point guard can do. Her vision, elite, her passing, pinpoint, her shooting range. Let's just say she's launching from the parking lot and hitting nothing but net. Defenses. Learned the hard way. If Clark's on the court, you better guard her the second she steps off the bus. She's not just running the show. She's rewriting the script, moving off the ball like Steph Curry, cutting through screens and popping up for 30-footers that leave defenders gasping. Clark's ability to scramble defenses is the engine of this Fever offense, and with the weapons around her, she's about to take things to another level. Next up, Kelsey Mitchell, the scoring machine who's been torching defenses for years. Last season, she averaged nearly 20 points per game, and let me tell you, she's unguardable. Whether it's creating her own shot in isolation, sprinting in transition, or draining contested jumpers, Mitchell is a nightmare for defenders. Pair her with Clark and you've got the most lethal backcourt in the WNBA. Picture this. You double-team Clark to stop her playmaking, and Mitchell's already gone, slicing to the rim or pulling up for 3. Try to lock down Mitchell and Clark's dishing dimes or bombing from deep. Good luck picking your poison. Now let's talk about Dana Bonner, the Swiss Army knife of this lineup. Standing at 6'4", she's a matchup problem every single night. Bonner can stretch the floor with her shooting, lock down multiple positions on defense, and bring playoff experience that's worth its weight in gold. She's the glue that makes this lineup work, giving the Fever flexibility to go big or small, fast or slow. Whether she's spacing the floor for Clark's drives or battling in the post, Bonner's versatility is a game changer. At power forward, Natasha Howard brings the grit and hustle. This tenacious defender thrives in transition, pick and rolls, and straight-up bullying opponents in the paint. Last year, the Fever struggled with toughness and rebounding. Howard fixes that. She's a rim runner who catches lobs, finishes through contact, and sets the tone with her defensive intensity. With Howard crashing the boards and running the floor, the Fever's fast break game is about to be unstoppable. And anchoring it all is Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 Rookie of the Year and a dominant force in the paint. Boston's footwork is silky, her strength is raw, and her basketball IQ is off the charts. She doesn't hunt for shots, she doesn't need to. Her screens free up Clark and Mitchell, her rolls to the rim create easy buckets, and her presence under the basket makes opponents think twice about driving. Boston and Clark are already building chemistry that could rival the greatest guard-big duos in WNBA history. Head coach Stephanie White said it herself. These two are on track to be all-time greats, hanging banners in Indianapolis for years to come. Now let's shift gears to the bench, because this is where the Fever's depth becomes downright scary. Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, Brianna Turner, and Sydney Coulson aren't just reserves. They're a second wave that can match the starters' intensity and keep the pressure on for all 40 minutes. Leading the charge is Sophie Cunningham, and let me tell you, her reaction to being benched is the kind of leadership that wins championships. Cunningham could start on half the teams in the WNBA. She's a lights-out shooter, a tough defender, and brings an energy that shifts momentum. But instead of sulking about coming off the bench, she's all in. In a recent interview, she said, "I didn't come here for the spotlight. I came here to win. With this group, we're going to get a championship." That's veteran maturity. You don't see every day. We've watched stars like Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony struggle with reduced roles, but Cunningham, she's embracing it, ready to be the spark plug that lights up Gainbridge Fieldhouse. As the sixth woman, Cunningham's versatility is a coach's dream. She can play the wing, stretch the floor with her shooting, or even slide to the four, in small ball lineups alongside Howard at center. Imagine a lineup with Clark, Mitchell, Cunningham, Bonner, and Howard. Defenses would be stretched so thin, they'd need a map to find the ball. Cunningham's selflessness sets the tone for a team culture that's all about collective success. And that's the kind of vibe Stephanie White needs to mold this loaded roster into a title contender. Lexi Hull is another weapon off the bench. This relentless defender led the WNBA in three-point shooting percentage last season, quietly becoming one of the league's best snipers. She's the kind of player who locks down the opponent's top scorer, dives for loose balls, and buries corner threes when it matters most. Hull's hustle keeps the Fever's high-paced style humming, and with better lineup support this year, she won't be stuck guarding bigger players and racking up fouls. Then there's Brianna Turner, the unsung hero of the Fever's interior defense. Turner sets bone-rattling screens, finishes strong in the paint, and crashes the boards like her life depends on it. She's not chasing stats. She's creating space for Clark's playmaking and opening lanes for her teammates. Alongside Turner, Sydney Coulson brings veteran poise as a backup point guard. Her ability to run the offense, manage the clock, and keep the team steady lets Clark rest without the system skipping a beat. So how do you take a roster this stacked and turn it into a cohesive unit? That's where Stephanie White's genius comes in. The Fever aren't running a traditional offense with Clark standing at the top of the key-calling plays. This is full-on chaos mode, designed to overwhelm defenses with constant motion, spacing, and unpredictability. Think Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, but with a WNBA twist. Here's the vision. Clark hands off the ball and takes off, weaving through off-ball screens, cutting back door, and popping up in unexpected spots. Defenders are forced to chase her like she's a ghost, and with her shooting range, they can't afford to lose her for a second. Meanwhile, Howard and Bonner are timing their cuts to perfection, rolling to the rim or slashing through the paint. If you focus on Clark, Mitchell burns you in transition. Collapse on Boston inside? Cunningham and Hull are waiting to bury threes. This offense is a chess game played at warp speed, with 5 scoring threats, each in the top 30 in scoring last season, rotating, cutting, and reading the defense in real time. White's philosophy is all about freedom within structure. She's not scripting every play. She's giving her players sets that create spacing and letting them make reads. Pick and rolls have 3 layers of options. Handoffs can turn into backdoor cuts. The floor is spread so wide it's like playing on a football field. And with rim runners like Howard and Bonner, plus shooters like Cunningham and Hull, defenses are stuck in a lose-lose situation. Try to switch or hedge, and you're punished, sag off, and Clark's hitting a 30-footer. It's not just efficient, it's lethal. What makes this Fever team truly special isn't just their talent, it's their culture. Sophie Cunningham's willingness to embrace a bench role is a sign of a squad that's bought in. This isn't a team of egos chasing stats. It's a group of players who know their roles and are ready to sacrifice for the greater good. That's rare in any league, and it's exactly what championship teams are built on. The Fever's depth gives them an edge few teams can match. While most squads lean on rigid rotations, Indiana can mix and match lineups on the fly. Need to go small? Throw in Cunningham and Hull for shooting and speed. Need size? Bonner and Howard can hold their own against any front court. Need a defensive stop? Hull and Turner are your lockdown crew. This flexibility means the Fever can adjust to any opponent, keeping the energy high for all 40 minutes. And let's not sleep on the long-term vision. Clark and Boston are still in the early stages of their chemistry, but they're already a highlight machine. Boston's screens and perfectly timed rolls paired with Clark's pinpoint passes are a recipe for must-see TV. Coach White sees them as the next great guard-big duo, and with veterans like Bonner, Howard, and Coulson providing stability, this young core has the foundation to dominate for years. Before we wrap up, let's address one curveball, the surprising exit of Tammy Fagbenley. She was a key part of the Fever's playoff push last year, starting games and bringing defensive grit and rim running. Fans were shocked when Indiana left her off the protected list for the expansion draft, choosing Dearest Dantas instead. Fagbenley seemed like a natural fit next to Clark. So what's the deal? Here's my theory. The Fever's front office is playing chess, not checkers. Protecting Dantas could be about unlocking new play styles, creating trade flexibility, or building a second unit with unique skills. Dantas is a quality player, but this move suggests Indiana might be cooking up another shakeup later in the season. Don't be surprised if we see a trade or a lineup tweak that takes this roster to another level. And keep an eye on Cunningham. She's got the toughness and grit to crack the starting five if the matchup calls for it. The Indiana Fever aren't just rebuilding, they're reloading, and the WNBA better take notice. With Caitlin Clark leading, a star-studded starting five, Sophie Cunningham sparking the bench, and a system built to break defenses, this team is coming for wins, banners, and everything in between. Are you hyped for the 2025 season? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a breakdown. Click the video on the screen for more WNBA heat, and we'll catch you in the next one.